Okay, this is part 2 of the video. You can see that I still have the 1/2, the 1/3, and their 1/4, 1/5, 1/6, and their decimal conversions. Here I'm doing 1/7, 1/8, 1/9, and you can see that I'm not doing 1/10 because 1/10 is just 0.1. We should all know that because 1/10 is just like a decimal, it's 0.1. And so we're not doing 1/10, we'll be doing 1/11 and then 1/12. Okay, out of all of the decimals, the hardest one to do is 1/7 because it's such a weird animal. I know it's a prime number, but 11 is a prime number, and it's not half as weird as 1/7. So I'm going to take 7, and I'm going to divide it into 1. Well, it won't go, but it will go into 10. It'll go into 10 one time, so 1 times 7 will give me 7. I subtract it, and I get a 3. Well, 7 won't go into 3, so I'm going to add another 0 there, so it gives me another place here. Let me put my decimal right there as well. So 7 will go into 30 4 times, because 4 times 7 is 28. And then I subtract it, and I have a remainder of 2. Okay, so now 7 won't go into 2, but it will go into 20. It'll go 2 times, because 2 times 7 is 14. And there I added my other 0, right there to give me another place. I subtract 14, I get 6. So 7 won't divide into 6, so I have to add another 0 there to give me another place because I don't have a repeating decimal yet. When I know it will repeat because I'll end up with one of these that I've already been at. Okay, I'm not repeating it at 20, I'm not repeating it at 30, and I'm not repeating it at 7. Okay, so I have a 2. 7 will go on to 60 8 times because 8 times 7 is 56. Now I subtract that. 60 minus 56 is 4. Okay, I still not repeating yet. Now I'm going to have to add another 0. So this comes all the way up to the top. I put another 0 and it gives me another place. So we're already at 1, 2, 3, 4 decimal places. We don't have anything repeating. Okay, 7 will go into 40 5 times because 5 times 7 is 35. Now when I subtract 35 from 40, I get 5. And again, I don't have anything repeating. That's my first 5. It doesn't repeat there. It doesn't repeat there. I don't have anything repeating so far. And it doesn't repeat there. Okay, so 50. 7 will go into 57 times because 7 times 7 is 49 when I subtract 49. Hallelujah! I finally got my 1. That first one we started with. So that one and that one right there repeats. Okay? That repeats. So now that means the decimal that repeats for 1/7 is 0.142857. And then if I were to start this 1 all over again, it would just get me the 4 again because I would be dividing by 1. Well, what happens when I divide by 1? I get the 1. What happens when I divide by the 30? It would give me the 4. I divide by, and so it would just start all over again. So the decimal for 1.7 is 0.14287, and all those are repeating numbers. Now you could go ahead and write this and write it over 99999 like we did in the last section. Simplify it and you'll get 1/7. Absolutely. Okay. Now we'll look at 1 divided by 8. So 8 divides 1. It won't go into 1, but it will go into 10. It will go into 10 one time. 1 times 8 is 8. I subtract it. I get 2. Okay, 0.2. Well, I need to add another decimal because 8 won't go into 2, but it will go into 20. So I'm going to add another decimal. I'm going to multiply by 2. 2 times 8 will give me a 16. Subtract it. I get 4. I still don't have anything repeating. I'm looking to repeat a 20, and I'm looking to repeat a 1. I haven't got it yet. So 8 won't go into 4, but it will do it 40 times. I'll multiply that. 5 times 8 is 40. And look what I get here. I get a 0. So this thing terminates. It terminates with a 0. So that's the decimal for 18.125. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to do 1/9. So we look at, 9's really easy. So 9 divided by 1, or 9 divided into 1. It won't go into 1, but it will into 10. Now look how easy this is. 1 times 9 is 9.9. I have to put a decimal there, right? Subtract it, I get 1. Look how quick that repeats. There's a 1 there. There's a 1 there. So that quick, I know that it repeats. And it repeats at a 1. So that's how 9 repeats. Is 1 or 1, 1, but it just keeps repeating the 1s. Okay. All right, very good so far. So this is 0.1 repeating. So it's just a bunch of 1s. So 1/9. Okay. So let's look at 11. I have 11 divided into 1. Now these are tricky. Okay, I've got a 1. I put a 0 there. 11 will not divide 10, so I have to put another 0 there. So that means this one here I have to fill in as a 0 because this doesn't divide it, so I have to put a 0. Do you see that? It won't divide the 10, so I have to put a space there. I can't put a space, so I put a 0. Okay. Now 11 will divide 100. Let's see, 99 times. So 9 times. 9 times 99, or 9 times 11 is 99. And look where it repeats. I get a minus this, and what do I get? Let me erase this right here. I get a 1. And again, this starts all over. So the repeating decimal, I would just get 090909. So if you're looking at 11, it's 0.09. Okay. See the repeating 1? Right there and there, the 1 repeats. So that means whatever I have right here is the repeating part of the decimal. Okay, we're almost done. We're going to look at 12. 12 divided into 1. So you treat this much like we did 11. So I have 12 divided into 11. It won't go into 1. It won't go into 10. So I have to say, hey, 0's there because it won't go. And now I put another 0 there so I can have another decimal place. It will go 8 times. 8 times 12 is 96. I subtract 96, I get 4. Okay, so 12 won't go into 4, but it will go into 40, so I have to add another decimal. So now I have 3 decimal places. So now I have an extra spot right here on top. So I times that by 3. 3 times 12 is 36. And abracadabra, hocus pocus, do you see where it repeats? Right there, it repeats at 4. So the repeating decimal is not 8. It starts repeating at 40. And 3 times 12 gave me the 36 that caused the 4 to repeat. So that is the repeating decimal right there, not the 8. So 12 is 0.83. Okay, so how do you use this? So for instance, if I have 2/3, what's the decimal for 2/3? Most of you know it's 66666, right? Let me move this up just a bit. So 2/3, if I want to know what 2/3 is, I times it by 1/3, it gives me 666. If I want to know what 3/4 is, you multiply 3 to 25, and I think most of you know that'll be 75. So this is a really quick way to convert decimals to fractions just using the common ones that we go 1 through 12. What would be 1/9? 1/9 is 0.111. What would be 7/9? Well, if 1/9 is 0.1 repeating, 7/9 would be 7 times that, so it would be 0.7777. Does that make sense? Okay, let's look at if I had 10 11ths, what would 10 11ths look like? Well, we know 1/11 is 0.09, so you multiply that by 10, it would be, I think, 90. 0.909090, because everything would be moved over a decimal place. So that would be 10 11ths. And you can go ahead and check this using our method that we did last week, and you'll see that this works. Okay, we haven't done 1/8. Let's do 1/8. 1/8 is 0.125. So what would be 3/8? Times this by 3. 3 times that would give me a 3. 3 times 2.5, we already know what that is. It's 7.5. So 3/8 is 375.375. So this is a good way that you can use these basic ideas. And I would make a set of notes of these. I will have that in discussions where you need to follow these notes right here and just copy the stuff down that you see in these videos. So this is part 1 you already saw. This is part 2. And thank you for watching. And bye-bye.